All right, welcome to Zoho. So when you initially log in with your username and password, you'll be brought to this main screen of Zoho 1. You could kind of create a custom dashboard here, or you don't really need to do anything. Zoho 1 really acts like a front page for your other applications that are assigned to you, like the inventory application, the books application, and the CRM. So you access those other apps by hovering your cursor over the side right here by the Zoho 1. And initially you might not have anything showing up right here on your apps, but you'll go to more apps and you'll be able to add the apps that you're assigned to. And you want to add the CRM, you want to add inventory, and you want to add books. The other two you just disregard. So book, CRM, and inventory, you'll click each of those. They'll populate over here to the left. And then you're able to go right into the CRM or invoice or inventory or books. So we're going to click the CRM. Brings you to the main page of your CRM. I'm using an older employee's sign-on. If you would like to customize your view, or if you have assigned deals, we're not going to see anything on Marissa's account right now because nothing's assigned to her, but you would have all this stuff populate with your open deals, calls made today, leads that's supposed to be coming in. And this materials that are showing on this screen could be customized by going up here and doing different views or customizing your own page to show what you want to see. You could refresh and update any section by hitting that little swirly thing. And that's your main page for the CRM. And up here on the top is your cascade of all your options that we could go through. So there's leads, if you have assigned leads that you're going to work on. There's a tile view like this where it's just kind of colorful and has leads shown in a different manner. You can change the way you want to see your lists. If you want a more traditional list view, it's over here on the right, and you'll hit list view and you kind of see it in a plainer manner. Or you could stay with that different view there, tile views or custom views, so they'll place like that. We like to stick with the list view because it's pretty simple, just straight up and down. And we'll go through. Leads is just, contact, first contact, you got a name, an email, and a phone number. After you start, working on a deal or working them through the system or actually send them sales orders, they'll move into contacts and accounts. So we'll change this view again right here to show a list. So we have some contacts showing. For the accounts, these are all set to my accounts or my contacts. You could change your views over here if you're on any of these top fields. So we'll go back to accounts here and we'll look at that as a list as well. But you could filter this off to the left of any type of different status or what you might be looking for within these fields that are on the top. So if I was going to go back to leads, I could see all leads, or I could just turn it to my leads or open leads. And if it was contacts, I could just see my contacts or all the contacts. I'm looking at everybody's right here. If I'm on accounts, I'm seeing all my accounts right now. I'm going to change that to all accounts and seeing everybody that's available. Over to the right here, we could look at more records per page. So if you want to see the max of 100 records, it's set to 10 right now, and you'd have to flip through a bunch of pages. You could run that to 100 records so you kind of have some view of more accounts that are on there. If you need to search your account, you just use this overall search field right here, this magnifying glass to the top right. You place anything inside of here, will search through all of Zoho. So we're using Mason Killing It as a new account or company. So you could tell when I searched Mason Killing It, his account comes up. If you click here, you go straight into his account information. Associated deals with Mason Killing It are going to be placed in here. Tasks, invoices, and sales orders, all just by the search field up here. So if we wanted to see maybe AWS, we got a couple different accounts, AWS here, we can click right into there. But you saw at that same time, if I wanted to see AWS, I could see all these associated deals that are possibly with AWS. And there's a bunch, and then other tasks. So we're right inside the company account of AWS now. And you could look at, a light overview. There's their fields that are in here. You could populate as much as you'd like inside of here. Change the account owner to yourself if that's not you. you go through and see at a high level what's going on in the account right here on this associated related lists. So you can see that there's 10 different deals. If we click onto that, we can go scroll right down automatically to their deals. You can see what's going on with all the AWS account related deals. Other contacts associated with the company can be added here. So you're working inside the account and adding any kind of deals. You'll see different tasks that are open or due, calls and meetings all cascaded down this way, activities that have been finished, and we keep going. You'll see this finance section here. And this is where we create new estimates, sales orders, or invoices. And this is also available here at the top. So you don't have to go right into your customer to create anything new. You can use this top tab up here to click into, and you'll see on the left there's invoices. We can click through estimates. There's none created right now, but we'll be able to create new things by hitting these buttons to the right. Sales orders, and again, all these fields are filterable by the left side here if you want to see yours, everybody's, or just all. And here's all the created sales orders we've been having to go through and test. So when you're starting purchase orders, we could disregard for now. So your sales rep, you're only using sales information, but we can order from here to vendors if we need to get more swag or anything like that. So we're beyond the sales orders, and this is one very important thing to remember. If it's inventory and we're selling inventory and it's inventory that's coming out of the system, packs, swag, whatnot, it all starts with the sales order. If it's not inventory, it's a service or it's royalties, it can start directly with the invoice. So there's no direction to ship or take out inventory. It's an invoice, and you could go through the whole process just to collect money by an invoice. If your customer absolutely needs something that says quote or estimate, you can go through this estimate piece and create a new estimate. And then once your customer looks at it and views it, you can convert it right to a sales order. And then once it's on the sales order, you can convert right to an invoice and collect payment. But most of the time, it's not super necessary to do the estimates. We could start at a sales order, and when we create a new one, it will be saved as a draft. So you can send a draft sales order to your customers for review if that works for you. And then you can just immediately turn it into an invoice if they accept and like your sales order. Or you just create the sales order and go right into making the invoice and then collecting some money. But for right now, I'm going to show you how to create a sales order within the Zoho CRM, and we'll just have some basics starting, and we'll see how we add items and clients. So we'll just go to starting a brand new create a sales order, right to it. I'm on sales order. I'm the owner. I will pick my customer name. I could search by account or contact. It's good to keep it on an account. We're going to use Mason Killing It's company. It'll automatically pull his info up. It's the only one showing. I'll select that. His billing address and his shipping address is here. You can click in to change or select or add a new one. Same, just be sure that you verify your addresses, since it is a new system. There could be minor errors or something that may have been dropped off the imports. Just confirm your accuracy of any of your orders for now. On this deal name, you can associate your deals that might have been created by, within Mason's Killing It company or other companies. You run, associated deals, so later on when this gets invoiced and paid for, it will close your deal automatically. So if this is before or after you create your sales order, you can always go back into the sales order and link up your deal to your sales order. I'm going to leave this one off for now, but we could pretend and add this close test or so, but you'll see that they link and it will close by itself once the invoice is paid. Sales order numbers automatically default in the next order number. References, you could use the old fishbowl numbers if it's something that's coming over new. You could put AUS if we're going out of Austin, just like in fishbowl, Michigan, Maine. Or it's not even quite necessary anymore either, but you can still do that to give the warehouse a good denote of a good reference field to look at, that's going to be coming solely out of Austin or solely out of Vermitas or whatever the main warehouse might be that it's shipping from. The sales order date is going to default to the date that you're creating it now. You could put the shipment date as the same date or any other date that you need this to ship by. We're going to say it's the same day. Payment terms or any type of net terms that might be due on here. This will automatically feed into the accounting system so we could follow up and see when people are due or when they're supposed to pay. And you can set custom times too if there's got something crazy going on for your customers and custom payments. So that's your payment terms section. Delivery method. Right here, we're picking if it's will call, UPS, or if it's going to be freight. You can select that section right here. If it doesn't exist, you can add it in, and then it will be in there all the time. So if it was a special request for FedEx, that will live in there all the time now once we saved it. But we're going to select UPS. So predominant shipping is UPS. The warehouse that you want to mainly come out of the material that you're picking from, you select here. So if we're doing samples, it's out of Austin. Freight's coming out of Maine. And then the small orders from Michigan stock, if they're selling stuff up there, they could select that as well. So we're going to keep this one on Maine as an example. And then we start adding our items. So for the items, 50 bar is required to write inside of here first. We're going to work on being able to just write apple strudel or find what you need by just keywords. But for now, you can use the scroll down and kind of quickly find your items and add them. Or you can write 50, if you spell it right, bar, and then whatever it might be, blue raz, and then you could add that way as well. You can also copy and paste that 50 bar so it makes it a little quicker for you to go through your search. Or again, like I said, you don't even need it, so you could just scroll down. And say I want to send some sample pack with some sunglasses. I could see the rates are all standard right now at 0, just like Fishbowl. Try to make this just identical to Fishbowl as it was before, but with a little bit better features. So the description is going to double paste down here. And it just comes out on the invoice with that description. So don't modify those or anything. But right in here, you can also see the available inventory for what's inside that warehouse. And if you click on here, you could see the other warehouse locations. And you could build your order with specific line items to send out to specific warehouses. The warehouse, when they pick these orders, they'll see this and they'll be able to fulfill from each individual warehouse accurately, and then the next guy will pick from his warehouse and ship the balance. So you're able to change those locations right inside of this line. So I'm going to say Warehouse Maine has 4 of these on hand, so I'm going to keep that on there. I don't see anything else available. Actually, inside of Austin, they've got 1 committed, so it's driving it negative. So he has no stock of that. Inventory will be updated when we go live, so this is fine. Keep this on physical stock because that's going to tell you what's rolling through the warehouse at any physical time. We'll click out of that. Right in here, you could add your rates. They're all standards at 0 right now. I know this is just sunglasses pack for free, but if we wanted to sell them for $100, that would be in here. Each line item as well can be discounted by percents or dollars. So if we wanted to give the discount, we could type that in as a positive number, so you could see it goes to 90. And if it was 10%, still at 90. Excuse me, and then that's $10 off. We can continue to add more items that are going along here. So maybe on some apple watermelon, you can see that has the standard cost on there, but you can rewrite if you needed to sell it for a different price. And if you also wanted to discount that at all, you can do that as well. 35 is 30 now. And keep that same warehouse. Doesn't look like he has any, but I could see that Firmitas has some. For the sake of this, maybe I would pick a different warehouse that had inventory, but not Firmitas. So I'm going to leave this. I'm actually going to take this item off because, I don't have any in Maine. That's what I wanted to ship out of. So I'll just delete that off just by using that red square over there to delete. If I want to add a different line item, just go right back into there, and then we'll just go pick another different item. So I got some apple strudel. I got more in Maine. I got a bunch, 2,000. I got them all over the place. I'm going to keep that as Maine as well. I'll click out of that with the $35, and I want to still maybe give them that $5 off. And if I wanted to do the buy 4, get 1 free, I would put 4 on here, and then the next line item of apple strudel would be 1, and it would be $0 and free. So that's how you get your totals up. Here's your subtotal down that's feeding from the above information. Shipping charges right now will not automatically quote. We're having a button built, and you'll see it when it's done. show up in here for your shipping charges, but it will take the weights and the package dimensions of the above information. You'll be able to hit a button here and it will apply your shipping quote right inside. For now, if you do need a shipping quote, please contact James or the warehouse, James or Hank, and they'll give you a shipping charge and be able to populate that in there. Say this is 20 bucks. That's pretty, just to add the shipping in there, just to show you what's going on. Say it's 20 bucks. This order discount is overall the discount for the order. So it doesn't have to say order discount. You could say maybe it was some type of trade show discount. And then you could put that total in there as well. And they're not negative numbers, everything's a positive number that's in here because it's throwing discounts. You could see that it calculated everything correctly through that time. Customer notes on here, if you need to type anything special to your customer about their shipment or their order that's going on. Terms and conditions, we may put a template in there, so that's standard for most companies to have some terms and conditions about returning product or whatnot on there. You can automatically email it straight to your customer too. If their email is already populated on their customer tag, you'd be able to select which one of who persons or multiple people that you want to email this form to. Or you could just go to save and then send it later. So if we want to go to save this one, I've already confirmed I built my materials. I want the shipping out of Maine, UPS, the order dates. It's due on receipt is when we start shipping this order. So I want to get payment as soon as possible so I could send this guy's packs, and his little apple strudels there. So this order is built now. I could go to save it. It will save the sales order as a draft. So it's been created, customer hasn't seen it, that's why it's still considered a draft. You can see any kind of notes associated with this sales order. You'll know that we're on the sales order currently. But if we did go back to sales orders right here, we'll see number 27, that's my draft sales order that I just created for $170. And we could click right into that, or if we'd like to, we can edit from here. If I needed to edit, I could do any more changes as it is in a draft. And then I could go back to sales order after I saved it. And now if I want to click inside of the sales order and view the whole thing, I click it. Still set as a draft. This picture is a 50 bar logo. It will show up when we email it. So if you want to straight send to the email right now to the customer as a draft, we would just say send email. It will pull up the email of your email and you'll be able to send to who you might need to send it to. I'm going to write my name in so I could show you. Oh, I can't actually do that. Regardless, I'll have to show you this email when it pops back up because I'm not the account owner, so I'm not able to send it to somebody else. You could CC yourself or somebody else just by adding your email into there as your user. That way you could also see the same email if you require that, but it will always be saved in here. Here's the sales order, the PDF that's going on it, a little message in here you could change the text if you'd like, and then we would call it sent. So I'm not going to send this one as an example. I'll just say cancel. But if I did save it to my desktop or whatnot, and I didn't use the email feature, if you did use this email feature from within, it would say that it was sent, but you could automatically go here to convert it as open as well. So now we're going to say, yeah, this order was good. My customer saw it. I liked it. I think it's accurate. It's approved. It's open now. So it's open. It's a sales order. It lives in the sales order screen right here is open. The warehouse won't have anything to do with it now. They just see an open sales order without any kind of payment. I'll show you the inventory screen that the warehouse looks at a little bit later. But we're still on the sales order and confirming all of its details. And we need to collect some money, right? So we're on the specific sales order for our customer, Mason Killing It. I want to convert this straight to an invoice because my customer is ready to pay. So I'm going to create the invoice right here on the convert button. And we'll just go to confirm creating the invoice. The details are exactly the same. They come right over from the sales order identically. The only differences you'll see on here is the payment options now. We have portals for our customers to make payments on their own, or they could go inside their own portals and kind of see their bills and last sales orders or whatnot, but keep this checked if you'd like for their customer to pay it. You can also add cards and pay everything on your own, or over the phone. You can request card numbers by a special email. So there's multiple ways to be able to collect payment, but we have this active right now to when you save and send these emails, you'll see right now, I'm going to save this as an example. So I'm saving my invoice. The invoice has been created. Like I said, it's a draft invoice because I haven't sent it to the customer, but you can see that there's some payment options showing. And when we send this email and we look at the format of this email, you'll see it's from me, and if we're going to send it to someone, we could populate them. The subject line, and then we have the invoice breakdown. Thank you for your business. Here's your total. And then this Pay Now button will take them straight to, they would take them straight to their portals where they can enter their credit card number and pay it. You could also enter that same Pay Now button and pay on the behalf of your customer, because you'll see that PDFs are attached in there as well, but you don't have to. There's a way to capture credit cards and apply that payment later, or you could wait for your customer to make that payment. So we're going to say that for the sake of example that I sent this, so I can mark it as sent over here. And I got a message, so I shouldn't send this because I was short stock. So maybe I'm going to go back and edit my sales order. So I didn't realize I was out of stock of something on here. So let me go to edit this really quick. I got one piece. Man, I hope I had none available for sale. I didn't see that. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that item from my invoice, or from my sales order right now. So I just have the strudel. I wanna save that. And you can see that you're not able to change different items once something has been marked as an invoice. So this is stopgap, so you don't make any mistakes or try to change something that's happened after the fact that you created an invoice to create money, right? So to fix this order, I could exit out of that. I could go back to my invoice that's still set up as a draft. I could cancel this invoice, or I could edit the item right off there like I did on my sales order. So I'm going to edit that guy off, that sample pack, and save that. It's a good example of like modifying your invoice after something has went through. When I could go back, because I did make a mistake and I added something on there that wasn't in stock. So now that I have my invoice modified and it matches my sales order, I can adjust my sales order now finally. It's been partially invoiced. So I want to go ahead and edit that guy and take off that item. Now I'm going to save that. So it's been updated, and you see it's been invoiced because I got my invoice over here as the draft that's been all set up. Created the invoice right here, apple strudels for the 35. I was going to mark that as sent, like I believe that it went to my customer. Now you can see that it's been sent. Now my customer's got that email, or I'm seeing it, and I need to collect my payment. So I want to get some money from these guys. So now what you've done inside of the CRM is basically complete. You went and created the sales order, and you generated an invoice right off that sales order, and that invoice is sent and it's waiting for payment. So now you could go right into hovering over this side of the CRM button, and you can see all the other options that are in here. You can go right into inventory. We snap right inside of the inventory homepage, kind of looks like that. This is more of like geared towards the warehouse picking, packing process, but you'll see the same information over here on the side of like sales orders, customers, packages and shipments and invoices. So if we want to click into this invoice right here, and we see number 28 that we created earlier for the $80. And if we go back here, we can go to the CRM, we'll see invoice number 28. We could confirm that invoice number 28. was worth 80 bucks right down there. And then we're going to go back into this CRM just to show you that we can see everything throughout these systems that are tied together. So now we're inside of inventory, looking at invoice number 28 that says it's due today for the amount of 80 bucks. We could click inside this invoice and we'll pull up this invoice details. We see the PDF here. We see that it was sent. It's pending a payment. We could click here and see associated sales orders that have been confirmed. This order is super good. And it looks like we just need to record some payment for the invoice. Maybe there's a card on file. Maybe there's not. We don't know. But we're going to click Charge Customer. And we'll see no saved cards. So if there is no saved cards, you can do this secure payment link straight to your customer. They could add their card number and let you know when it's added. If anybody feels not unsure about giving you a card number over the phone or emailing it to you or whatnot, which is really technically correct, they could use a secure payment link. They could add their details and put the card number in on their own. You can also add the bank details for routing and authorized direct payments right out of their banks. So it's all tied together for the amount of the 80 bucks, or you can go to proceed add a card anyway. So if you got your customer on the phone, you want to add the card. So just to look at just to go back through what we just did, I saw my invoices. I came over here, number 28 invoice, which was due for Mason. I'm going to collect my payment, so I want to charge the customer, and I'm going to say proceed to add the card details anyway. I got him on the phone. I'm like, hi, here's your number. I gave him my number. I put everything in. And then you could save this card for future transactions, and you could proceed to charge the card. For sake of example, I'm not going to put my card number in there and show you, but that's how we record a payment. And then that would light up. Once that was paid, it would light up green. It would say paid over here. All nice, just like this sample customer here. He's paid. And this other example order that we first did a long time ago, you could see associated payments and the card numbers that it came out of, reference numbers for our bank, and the amounts. You can see that same associated sales order that's gone with it, and I could click right into these items right here and see what's been going on. So has this been shipped? I'm not sure. It's been paid for. Maybe I want to go to sales order and look at it. I could click right into that sales order now. I'm on the sales order. I could see a bunch of details on the sales order here, again, with what's associated with it. The invoice is paid. I'm pretty confident I could ship this thing, but I don't see any packages yet. So I'm pretty sure it hasn't been shipped. Exactly. You could see here too, the order has been confirmed, the invoice is invoiced, the payment is paid, and the shipment is pending. So now we could ship this guy. These little sunglasses kits, or whatever that order was when we were on. We'll go back. I think it was number 27. There we go. And we'll see that our invoice from earlier, that 28, the sent one, I couldn't pay it, but we're going to pretend and mark this thing as paid. So if we did click into here, I could record payment. I could manually record payment. This is not if they were paying by a credit card or a bank transaction. Say if this was a wire. If this was a bank transfer or wire, that's where this information would be manually recorded. Accounting takes care of this. High-level salespeople could take care of this if wires are coming in to mark a payment paid. So I'm going to mark this one as paid for the sake of example. Don't change any of these different deposits to unless accounting has directed you to do that. We're going to say this. You could also email a thank you note if you want for your payment, and they'll get like a payment receipt to your customer. We're going to say this thing's paid for the 80 bucks. So now it shows paid. I have a payment. It was made cash. Associated sales orders that are still confirmed that have not been shipped. So I got this guy all paid. And for the warehouse, for the sales rep, you've done your job. You took something, you collected the money, you put it in. It's good to go. Now it could be shipped. So it's still pending shipment here. So these are all the addresses. We could go to the sales order screen, and you'll notice here everything kind of cascades with these lighting up statuses for invoice, payment, pack, shipped, the amount and delivery methods that we're choosing to use. You could filter these as the top by stuff that's been approved, that's confirmed, good to ship, to be shipped. So you could see I don't have anything ready to be shipped yet. but I do have orders in here that are good, that have payment. So the warehouse, like Hank James, anybody that's working in the warehouse, they're just cruising through this form, waiting for stuff that's been invoiced and paid. They could click right into that sales order, like I said right here. This one's all paid, just pending the shipment, and we could start creating a package or a pick list or a shipment overall. So if it's, we're going to make the pick list for the warehouse to go out there, we can go through this pick list process and start setting up the picks. And this is mostly geared all towards the warehouse now, since the CRM level of making payments and everything has been completed. We can go back to the CRM and actually check that stuff out. So we go to sales orders. We'll see Mason Kill, and its sales order is still right here, and it just says open because it hasn't been shipped yet. We could verify that the deal that was associated was closed now. We can go right inside that deal. Nope, sorry about that. This was an old test example, so it didn't close automatically. Yours will, I promise you. When you fulfill or make a payment on the invoice, it will be marked as closed won. You can see the history of that deal or whatnot that's going inside here as well. And if we also wanted to check Mason's account, we go right into his account. We start cruising down and seeing all the associated information. And you can see over here on the finance tab, he's got some information. You can see the associated invoices that we sent and that just got paid right now. So you could always cruise through your account and see the statuses of each of your invoices that have been going on and the status of the sales order to see if it's been shipped yet or not. So it all lives inside of your little finance section for your account, or you can actually go to the main screens up here and find your sales orders this way as well. They all work, and you can sort your different views so you're only seeing the information that you might need. And if you want to go into more inventory control looking stuff and looking at your sales orders that have been processed or waiting to be packed and shipped, you can see the associated different packages if they were packed up, and any kind of shipments. Once we start shipping, these will all start feeding. You'll notice too the invoices you can still see through here on the inventory app. Same as the CRM app, we could see the same invoices, and actually same as the books. So all these systems pull together the same information. See the sales orders. Books is used mostly by the accounting team or high-level salespeople, but these views, all this it rolls through each system identically, right? So you have the same views, same looking information, stuff that you could filter by. We can go right into items from books, and we see our items, the rates, stock on hand, a big nice item list. And if we were to go into inventory, we'd see the same as well. So we have items here, big nice list with just stock on hand, not so much financial details. So if you want to look at any of these items, we click right into this Allo Grapple. We get a good description of its weight, sizes, and everything that's related to. We'll start adding pictures. You could see all the transactions that are happening with this item, the history of the item, and what's been going on with it. You can tell if we were able to return it, what type of stock it is, adjust stock by the item. There's some more is marking things active or cloning. There's accounting information in here as well, and some shipment information, and it breaks down by all the stock locations. It's a bunch of information, even the sales order summaries of what's been being sold for this item for this current month or any other time. So if you're curious on looking at specific items and their history or how that item's doing, you'd be inside the inventory items control page, looking at the pictures and looking at the accounting stock and see what we have, the selling prices, if the cost of goods are correct. This is where a lot of stuff goes deep with inventory. But again, like if I'm in an inventory, I could still go to the sales order screen. I could see my active sales orders. I can go to my client as well and go right inside of his address. Now I'm in the client, I'm in an inventory. I could do a bunch of different items here. I can configure their portal. This is add a new card, add a bank account. So anywhere in these places, you have these options of doing different transactions or adding or making payments or adding cards. You could allow portals. This is all kind of advanced to what you might need to do as a sales rep right now or a warehouse associate, but you kind of get the idea that everything cascades when you just go to here. You could see all the invoices. It will redirect you to books. Sorry about that. But you have the CRM, and you're just going to continue to make deals and make sales and making those sales orders, emailing those estimates after you get inside of a sales order, converting those to invoices, getting some money in here, adding the cards. So again, anything that you might need when we start going through this system and processing your sales orders, give me a call. This is Mark. I'm happy to help you. As this is a new system, it's going to be super fun for everybody to really go through and learn the system. But so you know, this is Zoho and the finance and creating sales orders, invoices, orders. I've talked to a few of you and trained, but I'm available for anything else needed in the future. Thank you, and that is Zoho.